once again, Zain and I have randomly stumbled into another international auto show. Thankfully, the auto show organizers are big fans of Albon, so after autographing a couple Volvo 240s, they let us in to rub elbows with the journalists. Besides eating all the delicious food that manufacturers catered for us, we had an important job at the show today: roasting cars. Now, there were plenty of cars looking plump and roastable, but for the sake of brevity, we'll hit the highlights. First, the Jaguar I-Pace, which seems to be the ugly duckling amongst a generally handsome fleet of cars. Kia is next up on the list with the Stinger. What do you think of it, Zain?
It's actually not entirely terrible. But it's hideous.
Gonna have to agree with you there, buddy, but what about the Genesis version?
They fixed it.
Oh, wow. They actually did. So, top tip, if you're in the market for a Stinger, buy a Genesis G70 instead. And up next is, oh god, no. Oh, what an abomination. Please, BMW, no more of this, please.
It's time to stop!
Next on the list is a really hot car, as demonstrated by Richard Hammond.
Hi, Richard.
This Rimac has nearly 2,000 horsepower though, so we'd probably crash it too. And of course, we couldn't forget the riveting presentation by Nissan. And we can't forget the boy racer itself, the Civic Type R. Drives fantastic, looks bombastic. Now you can buy all the crazy aero from Honda for your base 1.5 liter Civic too, so that's pretty cool.
Hit the nos. It's fine.
VTEC!
By the way, Zain, this car doesn't have NOS.
Oh. Wait.
No. While we're talking about Honda, let's pour one out for the new NSX. Despite being a good car by most accounts, they're just not selling, so Acura is back to the tried and true formula of selling SUVs to soccer moms. On the topic of SUVs, here's the ugliest version of the Audi Q7. On the other hand, if you want a beautiful SUV, look no further than the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. All you get to do is look though. Any more than that and it'll probably go into limp mode.
What is this, a monster truck? I can fit DMX's full rap sheet under it.
It's too much stuff.
Of course, Zain failed to mention that this thing can go from Jeep Nation to Stance Nation at the press of a button, so that's pretty cool. Poor Zain always gets spooked by these wheeling demons, but I remind him we're not at the Mustang booth, so there's no danger. And we'll end the hate today with the most disappointing rear end I've seen in a while. The rest of the car looks great, and then the styling department ran out of budget right after the taillights. So now that the roast is over, let's talk about the dopest cars at the show. First up is, of course, Frederick Osbo's Formula Drift Corolla. This thing is an absolute monster with a Toyota 2AR motor pushing over 1,000 horsepower to the rear wheels. We're big fans of Osbo and Papadakis Racing, so to see the car up close and meet Frederick himself was pretty awesome. Over at the Jag booth, the XF Sport Brake was on display, which was very exciting for us wagon enthusiasts. The next dope drive was the new Cadillac CT6 V Sport. The new version hasn't changed much from the outside, but under the hood is an all-new twin-turbo 4.2-liter V8 with dual overhead cams. Yes, you heard that right. Gone are the push rods of the LT platform, and in its place, a 4-cam V8 from Chevy. Oh yeah, we met Carlos Lago too, which was awesome. Next was Genesis with their Essentia concept. This is supposed to be an all-electric GT designed to go toe-to-toe with the BMW i8 and the Mercedes Project 1. I'm as skeptical as any when it comes to outrageous concepts, so I'm not holding my breath. But with the Genesis G70 and G90 making waves in their segments, I can't help but be a little excited for the future of Korean cars. Moving across the Sea of Japan, we find Lexus and the structural blue LC. The LC is Lexus's Aston competitor, and from all accounts it seems to impress everyone that's been inside one. But with this new lick of paint, I'd say it's just as impressive from the outside as well. It's seriously so difficult to relay how mesmerizingly blue this car is. And finally, our favorite car of the show, which might come as a surprise, is the new Toyota Corolla hatch. Not only is this a pretty damn good looking redesign of the Corolla, but it's also a very important step in the right direction when it comes to reclaiming the fun to drive nature of Toyotas of yesteryear. This of course means it's available with a brand new 6-speed manual transmission, and not only that, it comes standard with Toyota's next-gen safety suite. Now, those two things might not seem like much, but in a time when safety systems are thought to be the end of the manual transmission, Toyota seems keen on keeping that passion alive. It makes us wonder if another one of Toyota's upcoming sports cars will be available with a manual as well. We also had a chance to speak with the chief engineer of the new Corolla, which you can find a full video of on our channel. He seemed really excited to be bringing back the sportiness to the Corolla, and didn't discount a hotter version coming sometime down the line, maybe with a Gazoo Racing badge on it. While there were plenty more awesome cars at the show, those were the ones that really stood out to us. And while we still aren't automotive journalists, we can't wait to hit the next show and show you guys the bleeding edge and the bloody and bludgeoned of the automotive world.